One of the most important parts to growing and scaling any business online is finding the right people to bring on your team. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my experience with bringing on a virtual assistant. I'm going to be addressing questions such as, when do you want to bring someone on? Where do I find them? What do I have them do? And how much do I actually pay them? And hopefully by the end of the video, there's something you can take away and apply in your own business. So let's get into it. Hey everyone, my name is Chris McCauley, and one of the things I do on my YouTube channel is share different ways I'm making money online. And before we go ahead and get too far into today's video, the free call winner that I gave away last YouTube video is right here. Feel free to reach out to me on social media and we can set something up. And going forward, all you have to do is like, subscribe, and comment in the description below where you're from, and it will give you a chance to win that call. Now, today's video is a big topic, and it's definitely an important one of finding and bringing the right people on your team. Fortune 500 companies devote millions of dollars to this. So I think, and obviously we're not a Fortune 500 company, but we can do what they do at just a much smaller scale. So before I go ahead and talk about how I found someone and where I found them, I think it's important to address, when do you want to bring someone on? And the reason I'm doing this is for people who don't know this or seeing this video for the first time. One of the things I do is I sell on Amazon, and I teach people how to sell on Amazon. And oftentimes I see new sellers that are coming to me, and they're relatively new sellers, and they're asking me, how can I bring out a virtual assistant? I want to automate this. And although their minds are in the right spot, and I think it's important to build systems and scale, you also have to be able to do something profitably and teach someone how to do it, because you got to walk before you can run. And if you're making mistakes, that virtual assistant is just going to magnify those mistakes and lose you more money. So you definitely do not want that. But if you're at the point where you are profitable, you can now move on to step 2, which is knowing what you want them to actually do. And what I did was on this is I just broke down my tasks into different columns. So I wrote down what I did for a week, and then I broke them down in 2 different columns. And these columns were things that I had to do myself and things that I could outsource. And the way that you know what to outsource is just knowing the opportunity cost of what you're doing, meaning that you're aware of different things that you could be doing outside of that task that could make you more money. So I'm going to give you guys an example. So I was spending a lot of time doing product research at the time for online arbitrage products. And I thought to myself, why not just automate this and I can devote my time to something else, which is what I did. So I went to find someone that would do that for me. If you're at the point where you pass both of these tests, you know you're ready to bring someone on. Now you want to know, where do I find them? And I'm going to give you guys 2 sites that I use, and I'm going to talk about why and when I use each site. So the 2 sites I use is Fiverr.com and OnlineJobs.ph. And OnlineJobs is what I used for my one virtual assistant that I have now. And Fiverr.com is what I use for more job per job basis. And these people I continually to rehire, but like I said, it's only on a job to job basis. The virtual assistant I have from Online Jobs, he is working for me for a set period of time, and I'm paying him out bi-monthly. So that's how I go ahead and use that. And these sites will save you a ton of money, because the thing that they have in common is that you're hiring people overseas. So cost of living over there is not the same as it is in the States. So you can pay less. You don't have to pay minimum wage over here. You can pay less than half the cost. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about OnlineJobs.ph first and how I use that. So you do have to pay a $70 one-time month fee for this website. But what I did was I did all of the hiring process, and then I went ahead and canceled my membership. But if you're continually looking for people and you're a bigger operation than what I am, you're probably going to need to keep that membership. And what I did was I posted an application, and I'll just show you guys my application here. You can see it's pretty basic. It's nothing too crazy. And from there, I got about 400 different applicants. And that first go around of basically eliminating potential job qualifiers was just looking at the detail they gave as well as the timeliness. So basically, anyone that was in the first 4 days and that had a thorough response, I kept. And then from there, I had about 150 applicants. And then I wanted to narrow it down to about 50. And so what I did was I just kind of looked at past experience. Have they worked for someone in e-commerce before? Was it Amazon? Was it eBay? What was their past history like? And then I basically narrowed it down to 20 people I wanted to interview. And this is just really based on their past experience. And out of those 20 people I interviewed, only about 13 to 14 actually showed up for the interview. And then out of those 13 to 14, when I was talking to them, I just spoke with them on Zoom, which is basically, it's like Skype, but I like Zoom better because you can actually record the videos. And from there, all I did was I just asked them some surface level questions at first. So, what's your background like? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And stuff like that. And then I wanted to get a feel for their background, because I can do that better via video than I can through email. And what I ended up doing was I picked 2 people that I really liked, and I set a pay for that week, $3 per hour, and the best person got the job. And I just wanted to see, what was their communication like? What questions were they asking? How much help did they need? And how much work did they get done? And I ended up choosing this guy. And one of the last questions I asked them was why do you want this job? Like, what is driving you behind this? And the guy I chose absolutely knocked the work out of the park. He just really wasn't happy with, he's a nurse and he just wants something outside and more into business. And I could really relate to that. So I went ahead and hired him on, and he absolutely crushes it every single week. And I pay him $4 an hour now, which is a little bit more expensive. You don't have to pay him $4 an hour. I just want to I only have one virtual assistant that I pay hourly, and I wanted to treat him well. Fiverr.com I use for a job to job basis. So if I want someone to create a website or a logo or any kind of graphic design thing, I don't want to go through that entire hiring process that I went through on onlinejobs.ph. And for me, I like Fiverr.com for most everything, but the con about Fiverr is you have to dig through and find the actual good gigs, because there's some overpriced stuff on there, and then there's people who are just not qualified. And so that may mean that for a particular job, let's say you want a logo design, you may actually pick 3 or 4 people to do that and then just see who comes back with the best one. But what that means though is that once you find that good person that, has really good service for what they're giving, then you can continually choose that person. Now, Upwork.com is similar to Fiverr, except you're going to be paying a lot more. That being said, odds are on your first go around, you're probably going to find a better person. But like I said, though, I love Fiverr.com, and I actually have a link in the description below that you can use to get 20% off or up to $100 off your first order if you sign up. I do want to share some bad experiences because it's not all nice. Like, it took some time. The reason why I go through such intense interview process on onlinejobs.ph is because you actually don't get to see the person. They could be, sitting on a beach and not actually doing their work. And that actually happened to me where I just hired someone. It wasn't for Amazon, it was for video editing. And they said it would take them, 15 hours to do this job. I knew it didn't take 15 hours to do. And it just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So you just want to make sure that your people that you're bringing on your team, that they feel like part of your team, and that they're actually trustworthy, and that they actually care about what they're doing. So guys, that's pretty much it for today's video. If there's something I missed, or if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments section below, or you feel free to join the Facebook group. And there's people of all levels in there that you can network with that are well above me, that are doing crazy things. And so feel free to join that Facebook group. That's going to be it, guys. I'm going to close it out here, and I will see you next time.